Chairman, Mr. Palmer, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So let me ask you the point blank and face up. You were serving Governor McDonald in an election capacity. If this had happened in any of the cities or counties in the Commonwealth of Virginia, recognize the cities in Virginia have charters that are each unique and individual to themselves. Would he not have had you and your colleagues from the Department of Elections on the carpet to find out what in the heck was going on? It's a full report on that.
Well, unfortunately, these things do occur occasionally, and in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we have a state board of elections, and we had an investigation into similar type of deficiencies at the polling place on an election day or during the early voting process. Usually, there would have been an investigation, and people would have been called down to the carpet to explain what happened and how can we fix this.
Ms. Hoffman Mirilovich, I hope I got close.
Close, yes.
You said in your testimony that you caution us that the district attorney's investigation is ongoing and therefore we do not have a full and complete accounting of what occurred on election day. Now, I don't know what the charter says, but I doubt the charter gives the district attorney the ability to look into negligence or malfeasance in office, but only to criminal matters. Am I somehow wrong on that? Is the Commonwealth different that their prosecutor investigates negligent cases?
I do not know that information.
Okay, and I appreciate that. I didn't expect you did, but I caution that we put too much reliance on the district attorney because he's only looking at crimes. I've not heard anybody allege that a crime occurred here. What I've heard alleged is there was malfeasance in office, negligence, and incompetency. Mr. Bognet, is that my understanding of what you're concerned about and why you want answers?
Well, that is a major portion. I assume that if the DA is investigating, he at least has a good faith reason to look at criminal activity. I don't know if criminal activity occurred. I do know gross incompetence occurred.
Let me ask you this, though. It's a federal election. Does he have jurisdiction?
I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer to that either. Interesting question. It's run by the state, but it's a federal election. All right, so we got a couple of witnesses who aren't here. What were their names again? The people who refused to come in and testify that you want answers from.
Ms. McBride, the head of the Election Bureau, and Ms. Williams, the head of the Election Commission.
And do you think this committee should subpoena them to testify?
100%.
Mr. Gibbons, do you think they should be subpoenaed to testify?
I'm uncertain.
You're uncertain. Is that because you're worried that there might have been some criminal activity and it might take the fifth instead of coming to testify?
I'm not sure. The DA's investigation did complicate the matter. We were there just trying to get facts and figure out what happened, and it became even more difficult when it was referred to the district attorney.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be indicative if there was? I mean, if they think there's some kind of a criminal activity. I mean, they're not here today. They clearly are trying to hide something. Do they think there's some kind of criminal activity? Is that why it was referred to the district attorney? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to get answers because I believe that there was clear incompetence and malfeasance, but I'm just trying to get the answers. Why wouldn't they want to come forward? And they still have their Fifth Amendment rights. I'm not taking that away from anybody, but is that why everybody's clammed up?
I believe that decision to the committee.
But you're an attorney. You're an attorney, correct?
Correct.
Isn't it usual in a case where there's no liability, these people aren't going to be sued for money themselves? They might lose their job, but they're not going to be sued for money themselves. Wouldn't a normal person immediately assume that maybe they think they committed some kind of a criminal offense?
If it would help get to the bottom of this, it could be a good idea.
To subpoena them. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. Ms. Hoffman Mirilovich, you think we ought to get these answers? I mean, I think you do, but tell me on the record, do you think we ought to get these answers and subpoena these witnesses in here?
I do think that we should get these answers, but I will say in the articles that are referenced in my written testimony, Denise Williams, the Elections Board Director, is first of all a voluntary position, but secondly was wanting to come until the county solicitor told them not to attend. So I do know that just from the written newspaper record, as well as that the same thing happened because the chair of the county council, Kendra Radel, was also invited.
And Mr. Chairman, I think we need to look into this aspect and subpoena these witnesses. I think we ought to subpoena the county solicitor to find out why he is interfering in the investigation of a federal election by the federal body responsible for making sure there's integrity in the election. I yield back.